Hi, everybody. We are doing a surprise live. It is snowy and cold again today. So we thought we would, hey, do a surprise live. It's been
Yep. We did some cooking videos. Hope you guys are enjoying some of
Yes.
them. There may be some more to come.
Yeah, I'm editing video to go up tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have to shoot another video for a couple videos for next week.
Yep. I'm thinking a video on how we make coffee without a coffee maker.
Yeah. That might be good. That might be real good. Thinking of videos to do. Yeah, lots to do. We've been kind of lazing around. Gary did go out.
Hey,
Hey,
Elijah.
Elijah.
Aren't you supposed to be in school?
Hello, Colleen.
Hey.
Yeah, we just thought we'd pop in and do a live.
Got 5 folks on here.
Evelyn, hello.
Evelyn Newman.
Evelyn.
Is that a new one?
Nope, she's
No,
been in before.
Okay.
Hi,
Hey,
DJ.
DJ.
Awesome.
Thank y'all for coming in.
Yeah, we're just hanging out, enjoying the cool weather and being able to.
Enjoying central heat.
Yes.
Enjoying all the propane we traded
Hi.
the pig for.
Is this Donnie or Jennifer?
That's all.
Oh, that's
That's a whole
no,
different
that
channel.
is Lon.
Yeah.
That's Lon. Sorry, Lon. How you doing, brother?
Hey.
Paul. Hello,
All right.
Paul. How are you, buddy?
He made the long trip
He-
from, where's he at? I can't remember.
Seems like the Netherlands or
Dutch.
no,
Where is that?
Oh gosh.
I can't remember which one of
Give
those
me a
countries that is. Paul, tell us what country you're in again, because we are clueless. We can't remember. Happens when you get old.
I thought it was the Netherlands, but maybe it is
Yeah, glad you're here. Yeah, we've got several people in here already.
Holland. Okay, Holland.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, we've just been doing some fiddly stuff around today, cracking out some pecans
Yep.
and cooking and
Editing videos.
editing videos, and it's the Netherlands. Okay.
We're doing good. We're doing really good.
Yep, we cooked and ate too much already today.
Yes. Yeah. As y'all saw from
Lots
our
of hot tea.
Yeah, lots of too much. Not enough for me anyways. I haven't been getting around as much. When it's cold like this, he tries to do as much outside so that Hannah and I don't have to get out. And
Watching while I'm making a taco
oh,
rice variant. Cool.
oh,
The
awesome.
soup was so good.
Thanks,
Cool.
Colleen. Yeah, I just throw in my leftovers.
Yeah.
You know, I did open up the jar of meat, and the tomato sauce.
We
of
do a
course.
lot of cooking like that. It's
Mhm.
what do we got? Well,
Right.
let's put a little of this in.
Yep.
Oh, that looks good. Do
Yep.
some of that. And then you have to, oh, we want your recipe.
And then it's like
Yeah.
because
It's like our hot chocolate recipe. We just put some stuff in there.
yeah, we don't measure.
And then our
nothing.
kids ask us, how do I make that? Well, watch carefully.
You put this in till it looks right. You put this in till it smells right. You put that in until it looks right again, and then you taste it and see if it tastes right, and then you add.
What is it, Rachel from Robertson's Belly Acres says? You put in just enough, but not too much,
Yes,
or something like that.
one of my favorite memes is about
Oh yeah.
I add it until the spirit of my ancestors tell me to stop.
Yeah.
It's, I think it's more just your own taste and smell.
Yeah.
You can cook a lot by smell,
And there's kind of a feel, I guess, might be the right word. It's not actually feeling it, but
but you
it
the
just,
look,
yeah,
the
that
texture,
looks kind of right.
yeah.
It smells kind of right. It tastes kind of right.
Yeah, we enjoy cooking. We cook a lot.
No, understanding how things cook
Hmm.
goes further than just following a recipe.
Right.
And so when you understand that if I add this, it'll kind of make it do that. I need to add this at a certain time and stage in the process. When you cook fried potatoes, you cook your bacon first,
Right.
and then your potatoes, and then you put your onions. And then
Yeah. I put my onions and potatoes in at the same time
Yeah.
usually, but yeah.
I usually put my potatoes in and cut my onions up and put them in as soon as I get them
Okay.
cut up. and that's about
That's
the
the way
same
I
time.
did it the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you helped me cut up the potatoes, and
Yep.
I got sidetracked and didn't get to cut up the onions while you were cutting up potatoes. Hi, Barb.
But then if you're going to put in like green onions, or if you're going to put in mushrooms that are in a can,
you put
you
them
wait
in
till
late.
they're almost done,
Yeah.
and then you put that in there.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of understanding how things cook. That's important to cooking.
And some of that comes with experience, and some of that you can learn from others.
Yep. And some of that you can do it wrong the first time, and it's still edible.
Yes.
And you just know to do something different the next time.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By smell.
By
Cooking
smell.
and baking by
Yep.
smell. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Only ones that love leftovers. Yep. Yeah, we love leftovers.
Yep.
And they get used in
They
things
do.
sometimes too.
They do. Oh, you're wanting to look at lawns. Yeah, we had, so the beans I cooked for New Year's. I'll put in a little bit more. I have too much water. Instead of dipping out water, I just put in more beans, thinking, oh yeah, we'll eat them all week. We have literally eat them all week long. We've had burritos, we've had dip, we've had refried beans and rice. We have just eat on them.
One of the things you'll learn that if you're cooking from scratch and busy,
yeah,
that you can cook up some things, big batches of some things, and put them in the refrigerator, and then just heat them up and use them in other things going on.
Right.
Sometimes we cook a big chicken or a big roast or a brisket or something, and use out of it for make several different dishes. We do beans the same way, big batch of beans, and make several things out of it through the week.
Right.
There's several things you can do like that.
Yeah.
Chili's one of them.
Which last week it was black beans that I made and we used and stuff, and this week it's brown beans. Barb asked, how much snow did we get? Hello, Lori.
I bet there's 2 inches out there, Barb.
We woke up to a winter wonderland. Gary, bless his heart, worked out in the cold yesterday building a corral.
Hey, Lori. Yeah, building some catch pens.
Okay.
Way down south. And it wasn't too bad. I mean, it really wasn't bad out of the wind. I ended up shedding some clothes at some point.
It was cold here all day long.
It was cold.
Oh,
but working it wasn't.
Sonny's here. Hello.
Hey, Emma. Good to see you.
Hola,
amiga. And yes, the Spanish I know I pronounce horribly, I'm sure.
Yes. Accent is very poor. It sounds nothing like Creek. Sorry.
But yeah, good to see you here. And Emma, we were just talking about cooking by smell and by feel, and
until our ancestors tell us to
we were all in a kitchen where that was done one day. There's something we all knew we liked to eat, but none of us really knew how to cook, and it worked great, didn't it?
Woo, Barb says they're at 2 degrees. Burr. We are in the teens. It was 10 when we got up this morning, and it dropped just about to 8 or 9, and then started coming back up.
I just read you, Barb. I just read your comment. Yeah, we're just old too. Instead of just cold, it says just old.
Oh.
Yes. We we understand that.
Yeah.
I think that was a misprint, but it's pretty funny.
5 inches Monday, and we're going to another 4 or 5 tonight. Whoa.
That's cold.
That is cold. Wow. Goodness gracious. That's a lot of snow. Our friends in Wyoming are getting snow too. And we had some friends from Wyoming take their one of their kids is going to school in New York State.
Yep.
In New York State. And so they drove from Wyoming to New York State and trying to get him moved up there. And then they tried to start back last night and had to stop for the night, which they would have to. It's a pretty good trip. But yeah.
$14 degrees.
Is that a lot for southern New Jersey?
Sonny's place?
It's 14 with a wind chill of -1. Burr.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. You're reading Colleen's. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot. It's
pretty cold. I don't know what our wind chill was here. Probably not. I don't know. We did the sun. The snow is so bright, reflecting the sun. We had to cover the window.
Sorry, my hand's
That's okay.
falling asleep.
Hands falling asleep.
Yep.
That's okay.
Just too short for this couch.
Just too short for the couch.
The couch is kind of when I sit in.
Yeah, it's old, so it it kind of sags like my arms, and when you get old, you get saggy. The couch is old.
Or I'm fat, one of the two. Maybe both.
I say the couch is saggy.
Okay. I'm good with that.
You're still a young man. As if you're old, I'm old because I'm older than you. Oh man.
Oh, I think Bellamy Brothers wrote a song about that.
Brother Juan, help me out here, brother.
You sicking a preacher on me?
Yes, I'm sicking another preacher on you.
Up to 19.
19.
Feels like 9.
Ooh.
I don't know. I was out earlier in the day and made sure everything had water and stuff. And the wind wasn't blowing too bad, which is an unusual thing here. And it really wasn't bad. I don't know. It was cold, but it wasn't so cold it wasn't horribly cold.
Whoa.
Gravity and age. Brutal combination. You're right, Emma.
Barb says that they have bare ground that is so dry they're having frost quakes. Sounds like bombs. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, we had that once or twice in Wyoming.
Yeah, but in Wyoming we're talking like 42
yes.
below.
Yeah, and it would like crack and the ground would move enough to bust pipe, water pipes, or pull them apart.
Yeah. And you don't just get a shovel and
no, they're like 6 to 9 feet deep.
6 foot below ground. Yep.
Roy says rainy and wet and cold. Yes, rainy, wet, and cold. Evelyn Newman got about 15 inches up in the canyons over the weekend. Actually got stuck in a whiteout. It was beautiful. Yes, the whiteouts are really beautiful, but they're so disorienting that they can be scary. If you're not in if you're in a car or something, it can get pretty scary.
Yeah. Yep. We didn't have that kind of snow here. It was snow down already when I woke up at 4 something.
Yeah. He's going to remain silent on that one.
I don't even remember what I said.
Bellamy Brothers song.
Oh, yeah,
I should have reminded you. He's giving you a thumbs up.
Guys, surely I'm not the only one that sings Bellamy Brothers songs to my wife.
I guess it'd be no different than reading the Song of Solomon.
Yep. I read that to my wife sometimes, too.
Oh, mercy. He's telling all his secrets, guys. Secrets to romance. We need to do a video on secrets to romance. How to romance your woman. That would be... Bring her rocks.
I brought some rocks today.
Yeah.
Gave my wife some rocks.
Yeah.
Hoping for snow. But woke up to bland white grass. Oh, winter grass. 9 below with 20 below this morning. That's cold.
That is
Hey,
cold.
Beverly.
Hi, Bev.
Guess I could go get rocks and show people what I've been
You
bringing.
could go get your rocks. Yeah, he brought me some rocks. Because I'm a nerd and I like rocks, and he knows I do. He thought I fell down in the driveway the other day because I'd been over. I saw an interesting rock, and I'd been over to pick the rock up, and he was hollering, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" That's right. Emma says, just remember, if mama ain't happy, it's the truth. From school. Are you home from school for the snow, Bev? Because our school bus it just ran late this morning.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many kids actually made it to school, but I noticed it was, the school bus should be here at 6:45. We don't have any kids that go to that. Our children are all grown, but there's some folks that bring their child and catch the bus here at the corner so that they can go ahead and go to work instead of waiting for the bus to get to their house.
Yep.
And so the kid caught the bus at their own house, or
I'm not the only one. Woohoo!
Yeah. Oh, mercy.
Oh my goodness. I'm not going to tell you which ones I sing to her, but just.
Oh, just the last few minutes before time for you to leave. All right. Yeah, it is getting time for school to be out, isn't it? Getting close.
Yep, I'm going to show you the rocks I got, Cindy. See?
Did you hear Emma's Mama ain't happy?
Oh, yeah? Yep. I showed them.
You showed them my rocks?
Let's see.
So, the one of them looks like it probably was an arrowhead.
Oh, that's these.
Oh, you got the arrow.
Shirts.
What about that one?
That's not the right material.
Okay.
That's just a piece of rock with a hole in it.
So we got some flakes where somebody had been napping. Not sleeping napping, but napping like making something out of chert.
Yeah. You can tell the edge of that's kind of been worked
Yeah.
a little bit.
And they're old. They've been weathered.
And I got them out of the river bank. Yep. So, but one of the things that I've noticed that's really cool is our river rocks around here. Some of them have natural holes in them. What's that say?
Emma says she's the school bus for her kiddo, and it ran on time this morning.
But some of our river rocks have holes in them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I picked up one the other day and showed it to Cindy. I think that one on top.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's the one. I picked one up the other day and showed it to her. And we talked about how it's rock hard and solid, but had a hole or a flaw in it, like us.
Yes.
And we have flaws. There's another one I found for her yesterday. I actually stopped and jumped off a low water ridge and got out on a gravel bar and looked for rocks for a minute. And so I found there's some more with holes in them.
We find a lot of them with crinoids in them, or whatever you want to call those. I don't know. I know they're called something else, but.
So I was with the guy one time, and he told me that there's these kind of sandstone tube-looking thing rocks, and he said they're a fossil of a seaweed. And I have no idea if that's right or not, but I think that's what this is, and it's got a hole in it. It's one of those similar, pretty round. It's kind of sandstone material.
But anyway, I'm a nerd. I like looking at rocks.
Yeah. And we're going to probably string some strings through those with holes in them and hang them up on the porch or something. Yeah. And I just thought that'd be a neat thing to regularly pick up for my wife, because I'm spend time out in the hills across the creeks and stuff. And, this time of year I can't find wildflowers for her, so I thought that might be neat.
Oh, Emma asked where we're at in Kansas. We are in southeast Kansas, so we're in Greenwood County. Our major highways through Greenwood County are 400, 54, 99, and 58. That we're close to.
75 is real close to us.
Yeah, 35 is to the west of us. I-35 is to the west of us. Before it at Emporia, it turns and runs back east to Kansas City. So it's west and north of us. 35 is.
Yeah, we're not terribly far from Emporia. We're not terribly far from like El Dorado.
Eureka.
Yeah, those parts of the world. So
we're closer to Wichita than Topeka, but we prefer Topeka because it's not that much of a difference in a drive. I way prefer Topeka over Wichita. Wichita's so big and so many people, and the drive's so crazy.
Wichita's kind of a scary town.
It is. It's kind of sketchy.
Yeah. And Topeka can be too.
Yeah.
We know more people in Topeka. I guess that's probably part of it.
So it's a family name. There's the Greenwood family. I believe it's named after that family.
Yeah, there's a lot of Greenwoods.
A lot of Greenwoods around here.
A big ranching family, and we know several of them.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, they went from KC to Wichita to Liberal. If you do it again, holler at us, and we'll meet you in Emporia. And
Okay. So they came up to
from
KC,
Kansas City,
over
and
to
then,
Wichita, and then over to Liberal. Gotcha.
Yep. Barb said that's her last name, Greenwood.
Oh, okay. Cool. You got any Kansas relatives?
Evelyn has family all over Kansas. Her dad was born in Stafford. Cool. So yeah, we are in this, what they consider us in the southeast.
We're technically in the southeast Kansas.
But we're in the northwest corner of southeast Kansas.
Yes.
Yeah. Where if you go north of us, you're in northeast Kansas. If you go north and a little bit west, you're in central Kansas. If you go just west of us, you're in south central Kansas. So it's just, yeah, we're not far from that line.
Yep. And we've got family all over.
We do.
We don't have any family in Kansas that I know of. Do
No,
we?
I have some distant cousins, but that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
We don't really have any family in Kansas. Even our children that don't live with us technically live in the other state.
I live in, yeah.
And my family lives in the other state. Some of you guys
Live in the other state.
Sometimes I know that state, and we talk about it. I spend a lot of time over there in Missouri, and so, yeah.
Blackberry Rock Homestead. Hello. Yeah. Born and raised in Kansas. Awesome. Are you still in Kansas, Blackberry Rock? Wow. Hubby's the Greenwood name did not come from Kansas. Her hubby's grandpa was from England. It's from England.
Yeah.
Ms. Misery.
Yeah. I spent some time in Misery. Yeah. Somebody said there was a question there I missed.
Let
me get back to. How did we end up in Kansas?
Oh, that's a long story, but it's a good one.
So basically, short story is the church here in Madison asked me to come and give a call, and called me as pastor, and that's why we moved to Kansas. We had some friends we'd met in Wyoming that moved to Kansas. They knew about us, and they're the ones that told the church about us. Oh, Blackberry Rock Homestead is in Misery also.
Sherry Howell. I grew up in Hutch. Have family in Andover, Douglas, Seneca, and now live in Oklahoma. Cool. Welcome, Sherry. Welcome, Blackberry Rock.
Sherry, we're from Oklahoma originally.
Yes. Is there anybody else that we didn't greet when they came in?
I don't know, but if we didn't and we missed you,
hello,
and you're welcome. We're glad you're here in our living room on a snowy afternoon.
Yeah, we grew up. I grew up Silver City, Oklahoma. My family still lives there, which is about halfway between Stillwater and Tulsa. Their closest little town is Oilton, and that's.
I'm from all over that part of Oklahoma.
Gary grew up.
Show me state representing.
Yeah, they are. There's a lot of you in here. Gary grew up northwest of Tulsa until he was 16, and then they moved to the same mile section we lived on.
Yep.
And it's a good thing he did, or I'd never got married. I'd have had to marry a cousin. That's the big joke.
Somewhere.
I'm sure we would have. The big joke is I'd have had to marry a cousin, but no.
Yeah, Sonny, if we left Kansas today, if we were decided to go somewhere else, it very likely might be
Missouri. Yeah. if we were to leave Kansas. We really like Kansas, and we got pretty good roots here, but we did have pretty good roots in Oklahoma too. We owned our own place,
and we've actually got roots in Missouri too.
Yes.
We could go to a particular community in Missouri and be settled pretty quick right now.
Yeah.
I work over there some even, so
Yeah.
yeah, we love Missouri. Always have loved the
Yes.
Ozarks.
Yes.
And but we like Kansas a whole lot. We love Kansas and our home and our homestead and our community. We have a really good tight knit community here,
Yes.
and I think that's as important. More important than the state or the land is community.
Yeah.
Community is important, and some of you guys have moved, and I can think of some of you in particularly have moved and felt that sense of not having community. And sometimes that's a little hard to build when you move into a place, especially if you're from a completely different culture.
Yes.
It's hard to build that sense of community, and so that's an important thing when you find it.
Yeah.
Plan on leaving Missouri in the
Next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
Well, are you coming to Kansas?
We liked Wyoming when we were there.
Yep.
And we liked Oklahoma, and we liked Kansas.
Yep.
Community is great. Yeah, and ultimately there's different ways to find community and
Yes.
different aspects of community. But we have found here that we have a community within our first and foremost important part of our community is spiritual community.
Mhm.
We want to be around not only like-minded believers, but we do want to be around like-minded believers amongst the people we're around.
Yep.
And we like to be around people that are agriculturally minded. It just so happens our local body of believers is agriculturally minded and does live around us, and it's definitely a key part of our community is our church. So
Emma says not Kansas.
I'm sorry, Emma.
Don't know what
sorry
you're
you're
missing. Don't know what you're missing.
Idaho.
Idaho. Mountains and snow, and it's closer to family. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. We lived in Wyoming for a while.
Yeah.
Northeast, not close to Idaho, but northeast Wyoming, and definitely the mountains and snow are nice.
We weren't very far by Wyoming standards from Yogi-Hala.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah, we were closer to South Dakota.
Yeah,
Yep.
South Dakota. And very close whenever Sandy from
Oh yeah.
From
We were just
suburban homesteader Wyoming,
Yep.
Arizona, when she's home in Wyoming, we were not but just an hour and a half
What
from
was
her.
the other one that was over there close to the same town at one time?
Yeah, and they've moved.
Hope This Works?
Hope This Works.
Yep.
They've moved. I can't remember if they went to Minnesota or Michigan. I'm sorry, I can't remember. Or Wisconsin. Somewhere over there is where they went.
I got to tell you this, and no offense against anybody, but some of the Intermountain states and the Western states have way too many laws and rules, and some of them are pretty lax on laws and rules.
Yes.
Idaho is one of those more lax
Mhm.
states. Wyoming is one of the more lax states. Colorado is not one of the lax states, and New Mexico's got quite a few rules too in places.
Thank you, Brother Lon. Have a good day. Oh, they're hoping Baker Creek has the Spring Festival this year. We're
I hope
hoping so
It's
too.
been a few years since
Yeah.
they've had that.
Yeah. Looking at the panhandle up north. Not too far from Washington, Montana, and Canada borders. Not
Yeah.
far at all,
No.
Sonny. Or Emma. Not
Yeah.
far at all. Yeah. Well, it's beautiful over there. Well,
Mhm.
so beautiful. We've been up in Yellowstone, and if we'd have gone just a couple miles, we'd have gone over. And
I have technically been in Idaho.
I flew over Idaho, I guess.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Did we fly over? No, we
No,
didn't
we
fly
wouldn't have flown
Idaho.
over Idaho. Sorry. Nope.
We flew into Salt Lake,
took-
and then
yeah.
Salt Lake to Seattle.
Then to Salt Lake. Yeah.
So we flew into Utah, stayed
Yeah.
further south than Idaho.
Yeah.
That's the southern end of Idaho.
Right.
I've been in Idaho when we were camping on the Snake.
Oh, that's right. You guys crossed over.
Beckett said, "What's over there?" I said, "Idaho." She said, "Let's go to Idaho." So we crossed the river there, and we're technically in Idaho. We're down outside of Jackson Hole camping, and
yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that was Idaho over there. I was pretty sure that river was the border, and so Becca and I walked over and picked up some rocks and threw some rocks and walked back.
Emma says Idaho has fewer regs than Missouri. Yes, they do. Barb says she's 5th generation to live here in Wright, Colorado, Wright County, Iowa.
Yeah.
My great-great-great-grandpa was first white settler. How cool is that?
We kind of had some of that heritage in Oklahoma,
mm-hmm.
places that our families had been homesteading. In fact, I ran cattle on the place, one of the places the Cargills had homesteaded when they moved there.
Yep.
But that's not where we needed to be. So.
Yeah. My family went to Oklahoma, but they weren't white. So, yeah, and some of your family wasn't white one.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's really cool, Barb, that you have that.
Yeah.
Really cool.
My dad's family came to Oklahoma from Kansas, and before Kansas, they'd been in Iowa. So I do have family in Iowa.
I don't know why, Barbara. I always think you're in Idaho instead of Iowa. I don't know. That's just me. But yeah, you're in Iowa.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's one thing I like about YouTube and doing the lives and stuff. You get to meet people from all over the world. We got folks that follow us from New Zealand and
well, we have Paul's in here.
Paul's in here from the Netherlands.
From Holland.
Yep. If you mean pew pew laws, we have open carry here. I live in the old west part of New Mexico, Evelyn says.
I'm talking about like building regulations and water regulations and homesteading, things that affect homesteading more than guns.
Pew pews. You can't say the G word.
Those things.
Yeah.
There's whole channels on here dedicated to that.
I know.
Say it.
You can't say it. Because there's regulations.
Yeah, because there's regulations. We need to homestead, or we need to YouTube in Idaho.
Yeah.
Where there's fewer regulations. There's a lot of states that do have pretty open pew laws, but then have a whole bunch of other stuff, and that's kind of what I meant was those kind of laws. But
Barb has said they've managed to keep farmland all these years. That's awesome. That's hard to do. See you later, Bev. Have a good evening. Tell Mike hi for us. Yep. Yeah. Emma says it's more about growing and raising food than pew pews. Yes, and what you can and can't do on your own land.
Exactly what I meant.
Yep.
Emma, exactly what I meant. And that also goes by county and area. That's not, just because some states have less than others doesn't mean there aren't counties that are, and I know that Missouri, it definitely depends on which county you're in on some of those things. And also Missouri, you'll find is one of those states that they may have laws that nobody cares to enforce.
Right.
There are some laws that Missouri has that not a person in the world is ever going to care to enforce, but they could if they wanted to,
Evelyn says the mountains closest to her and most of the villages don't have building regs. Only the tourist towns.
Yeah. And I guess when I think of New Mexico, I think of all the game laws that are a lot stricter in New Mexico than they are some other places. I think about how, most New Mexico elk hunting is draws. A lot of your hunting are draw only in lots of areas of New Mexico. It's not every area, but that's what I think about. I haven't spent a lot of time in New Mexico. We have been over there some, and it's beautiful. We think New Mexico is definitely beautiful.
Emma says Boise is more regulated than Coeur d'Alene.
Yeah.
Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. I'm not French. I struggle.
Coeur d'Alene used to have a horrible reputation for certain things, Emma, but it has definitely changed from what I know of Coeur d'Alene. There's a few compounds that are no longer in existence that probably have helped that a lot. But yes.
Cool. Missouri's constitutional carry too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. And those laws are always good. But I tend to be a long pew person. I guess is how you say that. And those are a little easier on laws. Long pews are.
They're looking more toward Bonner Ferry.
Okay.
Evelyn Newman just moved here 6 months ago. She's originally from Texas. I don't blame you for getting out of Texas.
I'd choose New Mexico over Texas any day. If I had to live in Texas, it would be West Texas, close to New Mexico.
Barb says last 3 generations have had to work off the land to be able to pass it on. We have it passed down to the 7th generation. Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of that is true here in Kansas as well. A lot of folks work off the ranch or off the farm to help support it.
And the ranching lifestyle and the farming, the rural lifestyle, 40-hour weeks aren't a thing. You may have a 40-hour-week job or a 35-hour-week job, but you've got other jobs too. So. All
right, Emma. See you later. Go get that girl.
To make it
the school bus run. See you later. Thanks for dropping in, Emma.
8 people.
Yeah,
cool.
That's pretty cool.
Thank you guys for all being in here.
Yes, I'm gonna have to put my rocks down. I'm gonna drop them. Cool. There we go. Make a bus run. It's 3 o'clock here in Central Time. I got to go back to work next week. I don't say I have to. I get to go back to work. Just 3 days a week to start out. I think so. We're going to run.
Yep.
It is about passing down a legacy. Yes, it is. And the sad thing is, I can understand that with my dad having a business that even though he had to start it over, that he had to start the business over because my grandfather lost it. That was generational. They had hand dug wells for generations. My great grandfather was the first one to drill water wells with an apparatus in our family. And then he passed it to my grandfather. My grandfather lost it. My dad bought it back. And now my nephew has bought it for my dad. So it's kind of an awesome heritage and legacy to have.
Yeah, in my family, there's skills that have kind of run through the family, even though didn't all learn them from each other. It's kind of the common skills.
Starting with the very first one. Back to preachers, right back to that.
No, that's actually not the family skill. The family skill is carpentry.
Yeah.
And that's been.
But the legacy of
There's definitely a legacy of faith in the Cargill family, even though my grandparents were, they kind of started it over.
Actually, your great aunt and uncle.
Yeah, they kind of started that over, and really cool stories. But
or I guess it'd be your it'd be your dad's great aunt and uncle. Your grandpa. Yeah.
My grandpa's aunt and uncle got saved and introduced them to Jesus, and introduced my grandpa and my grandmother to Jesus.
She lived in Evelyn lived in Odessa. Oh, greed has overtaken the area. Couldn't stand it any longer. Oh, that's too bad. Blackberry Rocks has a lot of preachers in their family. That's cool.
Most of the Cargills have all been carpenters. A lot of them have been carpenters and farmers, and that's kind of been their family line. There were a few of them that were preachers also, but it was also just like I have been in the past, and
there's Your grandpa was a pump mechanic.
Yeah, he was a mechanic, and his brothers. One of his brothers was a carpenter.
One was a farmer.
And one was a farmer. And he was a farmer and a carpenter.
Okay.
And then another one was a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And another one was working for a phone company.
Yep.
And then his sister married a carpenter.
Mm-hmm. And farmer.
And farmer. And Grandpa farmed and pump mechanic. And he did some carpentry work at times too. Mm-hmm. Definitely the skill that the family has always fallen back on, even when they've done other things, farming and carpentering. But yeah, my little brother's a carpenter, and my dad's a carpenter. John Cargill, that homesteaded Oklahoma, he was a carpenter and a farmer. Mm-hmm. He was known for carpentering and raising pears and Duroc pigs. And I've actually taken care of, we've picked off of those pear trees that he probably were from his stock, that were there on the place next to that place. Mm-hmm. And so
we got to run cattle and get hay off of where Gary's family originally homesteaded in Oklahoma. And I grew up on what was my dad's uncle's homestead, and where he had actually homesteaded. And so his original homestead. My grandfather was born too late to have his own land. He was born too late to have his own land. But several of my dad's uncles were quite a bit older than my grandfather. And so they had that when they went to Oklahoma, they were able to file for land for them as well. And Uncle Harv was one of those. And then I have an Uncle Harvey who, it's kind of funny, was raised by Uncle Harv. But but he really is my dad's brother. My Uncle Harv, not my dad's Uncle Harv. Gets confusing, but so snowy, cold, and a good day to be in the house. Real good day to be in the house.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time in several different states. We've only lived in 3 states,
right.
but we spent a lot of time in several different states, and Kansas is definitely close to the top of the list. And to tell you the truth, though, I have been from central Mexico to, I guess, central Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
And from Canada to Mexico and all over in between. Haven't spent much time on either coast, but central United States. And I've never been any place out in the country that I didn't like.
Right.
I've been lots of places in big cities that I didn't like, but never out in the country anywhere that I didn't like. Man, the mountains of central Mexico were amazing.
Yeah, I bet they were.
The Nuevo Leon, outside of Galeon, up in the mountains, those little mountain villages were like stepping back in time, and they were amazingly beautiful places. And really, poverty, as in no cash flow, but a beautiful way of life, and people that had enough. Mm-hmm. They had food and shelter. Mm-hmm. But the real poverty was on the border. The border towns is where the real poverty was at.
Yes, people were very diversified and knowledgeable, and that's how they survived. Yeah. Yep, it is. It's how a lot of us survive still. Yeah. Yep.
We've chose to kind of live that way, to just kind of do what's available at the moment and here and there, and not be, I know this sounds bad. I'm not a lazy person, and I'm not afraid of work, but I hate being tied down to a town job. I like to be able to go work here and there and be somewhat self-employed, even though I don't want to be the one always making the decisions, and just contract labor type stuff. And I love that. And so we've done okay like that.
And as a pastor, it's made it easier when you need to take off to do pastor stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, yesterday I was helping a rancher build a fence, and his renter came to where we were building and talking about the trouble he was having with his hot water heater, and I told him kind of what I thought was wrong with it. It ended up being that it was under warranty, so it's going to get the warranty covering it. But you know what? In a day, in a couple of hours' time, I built the fence, fixed a hot water heater, and told the guy how to fix a wood stove.
Told the guy how to fix a water heater.
Told the guy how to fix a hot water heater, and told the guy how to fix a wood stove. So yeah, definitely need. I think that being diversified is something that a lot of our country has lost, that we need to get back to. And I think that homesteading lifestyle kind of promotes that.
Yeah.
And our kids will definitely tell you that has promoted that, trying to do different things. And there's a video on here, something about our son talking about that.
Yeah. Yeah, our son, there's a video we have up that he's shot of him talking about growing up as a child of homesteaders. I think it's how homesteading affects your kids, maybe. So that is the title of that. It's a year or so old, but yeah.
Goodness, is it bedtime?
Oh, I think so. I'm not usually the yawner. Gary's usually the one that yawns through our lives.
It's after 3 o'clock.
It's after 3 o'clock. It's bedtime. We got up not much after 3 o'clock. 4:30, 5:30, something like that.
Oh, it was 5. It was after 5:30 before you woke up.
No, because I turned my alarm off.
Your 5:30 alarm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I laid there, but I didn't go to sleep. Yeah.
I'd gotten up for a little bit, and I went and laid back in bed, and then laid there till the alarm went off.
For 6 or for 5:30.
5:30.
Yeah. Yeah. Been a lazy day. I did dishes, and we've ate leftovers and cooked a little. Not really cooked, just kind of made stuff, and then yeah, I haven't even made up my bed or anything. One of those days. Nap time at the OK Corral.
Yeah.
Yep. Nap time before we got to bundle up and go take care of animals.
Yep. Probably going to do that as soon as we get off here and get that done before it gets too late.
Yeah. I'm not milking in this bitter cold. The cows are getting extra hay and getting cubes and getting fed. And I did have to go and get a new stock tank. I meant to video that and didn't get it done. Ours busted out. Self-sufficiency is a lost art these days. Yes.
And you're going to get me on a soapbox if you're not careful, Evelyn. And today's form of self-sufficiency is going and buying all the junk sold at the farm and ranch store, and ordering all the things online so that you can pay $95 to make yourself a $12 product. And that's what self-sufficiency looks like today. And that kind of drives me a little crazy. I get on a soapbox a little bit about that. And there are some very fine YouTube channels of very nice people. But when they talk about their self-sufficiency and they spend a fortune on doing things that they didn't need to, you know, and so sometimes I kind of get on a soapbox about that.
Barb says no instant ice cream.
Yes.
Man, I'll tell you though, ice cream freezes a whole lot faster in this cold now.
Oh yeah, you can make.
I could just put it in my freezer and run my freezer without any ice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I'm not getting any ice cream. Evelyn's exactly.
And there are some things that's worth spending money on, and you got to figure out.
Hello, MB Heritage, Michael and Bobby.
Making chow chow. Seen you were live. Cool.
Thanks.
I've eaten chow chow a few times. That's not a real Okie thing, I don't think, but I've eaten chow chow, and that's something we've never really made.
Nope.
That's very cool. So it's got like cabbage and green tomatoes and hello, Linda's Prepper Kitchen.
Hello, hello,
Got
hello.
cabbage and green tomatoes and bell peppers and onions and that kind of stuff, right?
Blackberry rock canned chili beans today. Yum.
Awesome.
Evelyn says that's a soapbox topic with her as well. Yeah. I don't know. It gets.
There are some very fine channels on here that do some very good things.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I understand, let's spend some money on the right tools and do things well.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's a little overkill, and sometimes we buy products because of lack of skills.
Yes.
And sometimes we ought to learn some skills. And I've got a friend that makes me look pitiful at that he is so much better at that than me.
Yes.
And I get on here and do a few things, and people are like, "Oh, you can make anything." I'm like, "No, you don't understand some of the guys I run with." And I've got a guy that every once in a while you see his hands on our videos, especially butchering videos. I mean, that guy can make anything out of nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he'll figure out how to make things work. And I've got another friend that helps me with my mechanic work, and he is really good at taking something that's broke down and fixing it without having to buy a bunch of parts.
Right.
He'll figure out the little nuances of things, and instead of just slapping a new part on it, he figures out how to fix the part.
Right.
Which blows my mind sometimes. I'm kind of when it comes to mechanical stuff, I'm kind of a change parts guy. I'm not a great mechanic, so.
But that's the good thing, trading those skills, having that community to be able to access their skills. I think that's a little bit of self-sufficiency as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, you need to be able to barter. That is a huge self-sufficient thing. Mm-hmm. And part of bartering, just willing to do it. Yeah. I mean, it's not really anything special. It's not like everybody's out there snake and you got to figure out how to out-connive them.
No.
I mean, most of the guys I know, they're willing to, if they need something and you need something, it's all right. You just have to be willing to do it and willing to say it's okay. And the dollars don't have to always even out.
Nope.
As long as you got what you needed and they got what they needed, that's what's important.
Right. Yeah, they said that's right about what's in the chow chow.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's because we're Okies and it's not common to have green tomatoes and cabbage at the same time.
I don't know. I remember my grandpa grew cabbages, big cabbages.
Yeah, but did he have green tomatoes at the same time
I don't remember.
Had cabbages?
Well, he bound to have.
Did he grow them in the fall?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I just don't think I don't think Grandma made that.
Okay. I don't know. I'm just in my family. I don't remember chow chow, but I don't remember.
But I've eaten it. It's good. It's a nice relish.
Yeah.
It's got that green tomato zing to it. It's good.
I had family members that made it, but they buy almost all their ingredients.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's things that just aren't taught in most households these days. And it's just been lost. And it's not necessarily anybody's fault. It's just been lost. And we've gotten into the consumer culture to where we buy what we need. And yeah.
Now, Evelyn, you're about to get me on another soapbox.
Well, we heard a homesteader speaking that has a fairly large channel. And somebody was asking them about, well, how much money do you think you have to start a homestead? And they said at bare minimum $80,000. And we just laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed. We just can't imagine what we could have done with $80,000 because you start a homestead where you're at.
Yeah. You
start a homestead where you are at, not yeah.
Cool.
But
we're up.
Oh my goodness. M&B send us a jar in the spring.
That'd be cool.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, when it won't freeze and bust in the mail.
We love homemade stuff.
Yeah, we'll send you something homemade too.
Yep.
Yeah, we like homemade stuff.
Huh?
Yeah, I know. I don't know just what I'm going to send them to.
Pawpaw butter?
No, maybe. We'll see.
So, Evelyn, kind of one of my soapbox things too is people saying, well, I can't do that. I've never done that before. Well, neither had I till the first time.
Limiting yourself.
Yeah, limiting yourself to, well, I wasn't taught to do that, so that's not what I'm going to do. Man, teach yourself. Figure it out. I just missed something.
Uh-oh. Oh, it did go a little fast. Yeah, there you go.
Built your own. You
for
just put
$60.
Just put a cheap heat tape on a hot water hose, probably.
Yeah. That's all you gotta do.
Yep.
Hello,
Hey, Tim.
Tim. How you feeling, buddy?
Hey, Tim, stay back from the screen a little bit. We don't want to catch COVID from you.
You can't say "see" on this.
There's so many dadgum rules of things I can't
and
say.
he's way past being.
I know. I'm just teasing him. I can't get it through the screen anyway.
I know, but he's ornery, Tim. You forget how ornery he is.
$80,000.
Yes, you can start a homestead with way less.
We did.
And we did. And they were in Missouri. The people talking about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you start where you're at. And someone said, one person's advice was start with cooking.
Yeah, I think
and that was amazing advice. And so we have was that Sarah?
I don't know. We've heard that several times,
Okay.
and we've given that advice a lot too.
Yeah.
Heard that several places. I think I've even read that in magazines and stuff. But
that is true. You start learning to cook.
And some of those, there's some homestead things that we don't even think about.
Because they've been our way of life.
Yeah, they're just the way of life.
Generationally.
There's animal things that we don't even think about.
Yeah.
Having to go through step by step because it's just how you do things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes that's a little bit hard about teaching other people because there's things that you don't know they don't know. Yeah. And and so sometimes that's
you have to take a step back and kind of think things through. And it's if you're not, I mean, it's hard for me sometimes because I'm not good at always putting things in the order of just thinking over, skipping the process, I guess, thinking of where you start to the end result, and can't even think of, well, where you start. Well, you start with, you got to build your soil. You start, if you're gardening, you got to build your soil, and then,
And, so an example of not knowing the things you don't know, that they don't know, whatever. This summer or this fall, I guess, we went to Marshfield, Missouri to the Ozark Homesteading Expo. Met several of you there. Yeah. Lots of fun. Cindy taught canning. Yeah. I helped with the chicken butchering. And we realized when we were there that we were meeting people that had never done some of that. There was a guy in his 70s that helped with the chicken butchering that had never butchered a chicken. And that blew our minds. But my parents, that's not terribly far from my family. My brother was supposed to come. He didn't get to make it. He was busy.
Exactly, Blackberry Rock. That's the same with our family. Our families. Yeah. It's been a way of life for us. Always has been. Grandparents, parents have always did what they could growing veggies, canning, and quilting. Yeah.
I don't know if we're going or
not. I'm not sure if we're going to get a go.
March is a long ways away for us.
It's kind of hard. We should be maybe having piglets. So no,
I haven't got a boar yet.
It'll be April for piglets. Sorry.
But we went to that. My parents came. My parents came to that homesteading expo, and they went around. Dad looked at the tools and stuff and thought it was pretty cool. Mom was looking at definitely into the herbs. Yes. And she's trying to learn more of some of that she'd kind of
she'd lost.
She'd lost. Her generation had kind of lost some of that, so she's picking up some of that. And they definitely, the food and quilting and stuff, they love that, and that's their, definitely important to them. So they were enjoying all of that. But that evening they left. We finished our thing. When we showed back up at their house where we were staying, we were sitting on the porch eating homemade ice cream, with some of our cow milk. Yeah. My mom sits there and was sitting there enjoying the evening, and she says, "So that's what homesteading is, huh?" We're like, yeah, that's what they call homesteading now. Is that just that kind of lifestyle? She says, "I just thought that's how you raised your kids." Yeah. To her, that she didn't understand that it was a movement or anything. Right. It was just a way of life. A way of life. And she thought everybody did that to a point, To a point.
And she was raised in Tulsa, in town. Yeah. And they even raised gardens and did things.
Yeah, absolutely. And would go places and pick things. And
I had family with farms. So
and would go help, all kinds of different things. My grandpa was very handy at anything he tried. So they helped with all kinds of stuff. And she had an aunt and an uncle that had a small farm outside of Tulsa.
Yep.
Sapulpa area. And so they were like her grandparents. And so she was there a lot. And so she always had seen that kind of stuff. But and you know, Dad it's been kind of like that when I talk about, you know, these people are promoting this or that, and Dad's like, oh, that's nothing new.
Yeah.
That's been done for years. And yeah, Dad, but not everybody lived our lifestyle. And my little brother, he hassles me about, he'll straighten out a nail or pull an old board. He said, you could do a video about that. Somebody'd watch that, pay for that class. You could teach that at the Homesteading Expo. Which is funny because my little brother is probably one of the best horse trainers in this part of the world. He does a very good job. People come to him to learn to train horses, and so we just get a kick out of the, you know, stuff people don't know.
Evelyn says it was a way of life for her. Grew up on a farm. Her son is just now learning at 28. I have to remember to take a step back and explain why things are done a certain way, especially with animals. Yes, Evelyn, it's kind of crazy, but I totally get you. I struggle with, okay, you start here, and yeah, that's backyard garden, chickens in town, canned all of her veggies. Yep. My mom was telling me about when she was growing up, part of the time when she was growing up in Cleveland, Oklahoma, that they had their house, they had bought a couple of empty lots, and one of them they sold in order to help pay for their house and their other lot. And then one lot was their vegetable garden so that grandma could can. So yeah, so my grandmother could can, but she had 6 kids, you know, and part of that time, well, I guess she didn't have 6 kids because she had 4 girls, and then I guess one of the boys was born in Oklahoma, or she at least was expecting him before they moved. Yeah.
We haven't got any more.
Yeah. Okay. I just thought I'd missed one for a second. Yeah, we enjoy camp. I missed gardening this year, and so Gary helped me out. And Robertson's Belly Acres, you got to see where they came and helped us and brought us veggies to plant. And yeah, so I'm gearing up. We're making some big plans for this year. I've got a lot I want to do. We'll just see how it goes.
Tim, we hassled you a lot. But very packed.
Grandma had 9 kids. Yep.
Right. Cool.
Yeah.
Tim, we hassled you about the sickness, but how are you doing? Are you doing all right? Yeah, nursing it with NyQuil, or how's it going?
Oh man! Well, you're gonna be singing different songs. You start out singing Bellamy Brothers, now you're singing NyQuil Junkie. Oh, you guys got that was
Hope
not
you all
an
were
earthquake.
holding on for the ride. Had your seatbelts on.
That was not an earthquake. He may have left. Oh, there he is. He's much better. Back at about 80%. Cool. I know some folks it hits them hard. My dad got it, and you know he is 77, but he is a hard-working feller for 77. He has retired. Yeah, he's retired. Never. So he just pumps his wells, feeds his cattle, and works about 6 hours a day for my nephew on the water well business. So yeah, he has not retired at all. Retirement means he's working about an 80-hour week instead of 120-hour week. But yeah, he is slowly. He is not back to work full swing yet. And it's really taken him a toll on him. He lost strength. And so, which is, you know, they say once they're that age, it's going to take them longer to build it back up. Thankfully, my mother didn't get it as of yet. And so my dad's way out of the woods, but it's kind of just go running through our family. So I didn't go for Thanksgiving, or for Christmas. because of the weather here. It was last Sunday, and it's been a good thing now. But Daddy is much better. But yeah, it's, some folks just it wipes them out big time. We had a flu like that a while back, several years ago. That took us a couple weeks to get back on our feet. It was rough. So we've been on an hour and 4 minutes, almost 5. It's pretty cool. Yeah, we've been just hanging out, watching Daniel Boone editing videos, putting videos up, and just piddling, taking it easy and resting. We don't get many rest days, so we take them when we can get them. Yeah. Yes, we're way better, and glad he's better. Glad Tim's better. Morgan doing good in school, Tim?
Guys, we want to say that after this year that we are really thankful for all of our viewers.
Yes.
And we realize that many of our viewers also have channels of their own.
Yes.
I'd like to apologize now that I don't get to watch a lot of you guys. And Cindy doesn't either. We do watch some, and we try to go catch a video here and there. Many of you, we've got some very good friends that have channels that we know personally. Some of them are bigger and some of them are smaller channels, but we are very thankful for all of you guys.
Morgan's doing good at school.
Yeah.
Civil engineering at Mississippi State. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. Good.
And we have gotten to meet lots of you, and we really appreciate all our viewers and fellow channels that support us, and we understand that takes some effort and some time, and we appreciate
and dedication.
That.
Yeah, and we appreciate that a lot, because you're so busy with everything in the world going on. So many folks work a job and homestead and try to run their channel, and that's a lot. That's a lot. And this year we thought we would slow down with not having the garden and stuff. I don't think we slowed down a minute. I think we were just as busy.
Do you know one of my favorite parts of the whole being in this movement? We love homesteading.
Yeah.
And not talking about homesteading itself, but in the movement that puts it out there and talks about it, and that does more than just do it, that promotes it, I guess. I like going to the expos.
Yeah.
I love going and teaching at the expos and going and talking to other speakers. And when we started our channel, like just a few weeks or a month after we started our channel, Cindy started a channel. I read in a magazine that there was a deal at Baker Creek. And I said, hey, you started this channel. There's going to be some speakers there. Let's go to this. Yeah. And she's like, okay. And so we kind of started our channel by going to Baker Creek.
Yeah. And we really weren't watching that many homestead channels before. And we've since really got into YouTube. We were watching something here and there on YouTube, but really hadn't discovered YouTube much.
No.
And if you don't know already, YouTube was our kids' ideas. Our kids were wanting in Kansas City, wanting to help teach their friends how to homestead. They were, wanting to grow things and wanting advice on stuff, I didn't have time to just stop and go up there and do it. So I was trying to shoot little videos and send them to them. And our middle daughter said, you need a YouTube channel. And she said, you just put it on YouTube. If you make it public, we can watch, all of our friends can watch it and all that. So I did. That's what I did. And then we went to Baker Creek. And we had been watching Living Traditions a little bit. Yeah. A little bit, not a lot.
We'd watched a few of Roots and Refuge.
We'd
watched a few of Living Traditions.
Yes.
And I don't know that we'd watched many.
Mike and Lacey. We had watched one or two of theirs.
One or two. We'd watched a couple of Doug and Stacy, but not a lot.
Yeah.
We had watched a few of the Living Traditions, and we'd watched a few of
Thousands of Roots was one I had really gotten to watch because they have all the kids in there. So
and then we'd watched started watching the Hollers.
The Hollers, yes.
And so we're gonna go listen to them speak. Some of them speak, and that'd be cool. And actually, we met probably our favorite big channel there, and we had no idea that their channel was that they were even a channel. And we just met them, and they had spoke there, and we got to meet them. And we were walking away from that conference going, we're going to quit our channel. This isn't. Maybe this is too much exposure for some things, and concerned about some things, and concerned that maybe we weren't adequate, and that maybe people didn't want to listen to what we had to say, and that big channel.
Well, and the drop, and at that point, we really weren't. We had a different motivation in YouTube, and it has changed this year, but Barb says she watches people when she can. And she doesn't create, but she loves watching the small channels because they're real. Thank you. But
we met Ben and Andrea from VW Family Farms, and have got to have several conversations with them since, and help them set up at some places they were speaking that we were speaking also, and got to sit down and have a meal with them recently. And we love Ben and Andrea. They encouraged us to keep up with our channel, and they've encouraged us to do some things, and we think the world of them personally. And we try to watch their channel some. And I love cattle working videos, and they have some of those. So we get to watch some of those, and they do a lot of the same kind of things we do, and have a lot of the same outlook, I guess, as we do. So we've really enjoyed their channel. And that's probably the big channel that we keep up with the most. We still don't watch every video by any means.
And encourage us. I mean, every time we see them, they're encouraging us to do something different with our channel. Like we really, until this year, not really had the monetization goal. And they've really challenged us that, well, why are you doing it then? And well, for one, it's number one, to spread the gospel. I hope, I pray that we are being a good representation and spreading that. Oh, Blackberry Rock. I love Kevin and Sarah, Jess and Maya, Doug and Stacy.
We definitely love Kevin and Sarah. The other two channels we don't watch much of anymore at all. No. But we have met Kevin and Sarah personally several times, and definitely appreciate them.
I do watch a lot of Stacy's herb.
Oh yeah.
Herb and her fermenting. I watch a lot of her fermenting. But and some of that's time. We just don't have the time. We just have to pick and choose. Kevin and Sarah have also done a great job of encouraging us, recognizing us in public. That's kind of fun, and
you meet somebody and then a year or two later see them again, and they know you. That's very encouraging.
And excited to see you, because they're bombarded with all these people. And like when I saw them, they had a crowd of people around them, and Sarah's like, hey, somebody I know, and she's like, hey, do you know where we're, and she knew I would be in the know of where they needed to go, what they needed to do, and all of that. So, and I just happened to be in the know in that instance,
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you must be in that part of
you're in that part of the world. Cool. They're super kind, super helpful. We don't know them real well. We've seen them at several functions. They helped us do our very first interview.
We interviewed them, and we were like, oh, we don't know what we're doing. They're like, I'll do this.
They said, They said, come on, we'll do it with you. We'll teach you how to do an interview. And so they did a great job. I was nervous as all get out.
And then Gene and Joyce got to watch them do that with us, and then they were all ready to do their interview. It's like cheaters.
We have made like the best of friends with so many folks. Gene and Joyce, Morris,
and you guys,
Morris Patch of Heaven.
If you watch some of our videos, you know that sometimes we may show up in Gene and Joyce's videos at Morris Patch of Heavens, or Robertson's Belly Acres might show up in our videos, or Tracy Kansas Garden guy, you might see him show up, or us show up on his. We definitely have some good friends in the homesteading YouTube world.
Putzing around, yeah. Putzing instead of piddling, like our day. Yep. But that has been one of the best things, is meeting people and getting to know our viewers too. So it's been super fun. So we are just under 1,400 watch hours, that we need 1,400 watch hours, just over 1,400 watch hours. We are at 2,554 as of this morning. But we're an old enough channel that every day we lose watch hours. So we got to keep, even though I started out, and even I changed my about that I was just going to be posting one video a week until I got the hang of things. And Gary's been home for the last 2 or 3 weeks, and we've been shooting videos and trying to get caught up around here. And that helps a lot. And I take for granted how many people just enjoy getting to know us and piddling versus piddling, putzing versus piddling. Yeah. And I take for granted how many people would enjoy just watching us do what we're doing that day, or enjoy just getting to know us a little better. You know, I just forget that that's important.
An hour and 15
It's okay. Everybody, we still got 8 viewers. We're good.
We're going to have to go do chores.
We are going to have to go do chores here in a minute. Yeah, it's almost 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock, we'll have to get off here and go do chores. But the animals got to get fed, y'all. But we love our lifestyle. And, you know, Ben said, why not, you know, you enjoy their lifestyle, you enjoy shooting the videos, why not get monetized and get paid for it? And he's right. And he's right.
That's what we're shooting for.
That's what we're shooting for. But I don't want greed to, I want to keep enjoying shooting the videos. I don't want to lose my joy in that. I don't want to just make videos for video's sake so that I get monetization. It would be nice. It would be nice to do so, have another stream of income. Yeah, Blackberry Rock says they're going to have to go do chores as well. Yeah, we are not going to milk today because it is freezing cold. Freedom can nurse the calves, and so she will not be in any problem. That's the nice thing about calf sharing. And yesterday, I'm going to change the subject. Yesterday, I went to get feed at the feed store, and we have an Amish settlement north and a little bit east of us.
A new Amish
settlement where there's been settlements around. And
this one has just moved into our area
in the last few years. And so the guy at the feed store, our buddy at the feed store, Greg, said, you've got to make friends with the Amish. You guys are, he called us modern day. We were the modern day equivalent, he thought. And that we do the same things, and that, you know, that we would be a good resource for them, and they could be a good resource for us, because we do so many things in common, only we're modern and they're traditional. So
yeah, it ain't easy to have a small farm.
No.
It's not at all, Barb. And the people that make it look easy are lying to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Because
Blackberry Pack, thanks for being on here.
Rock.
Good. Blackberry Rock. I don't have my reading glasses.
Well, and there's a glare off of that window over there.
Did you guys know this really works? If you're having trouble focusing, if things are blurry, you can do this. And if you get your fingers just right, it actually helps you focus. It helps you see things clear. I don't know why that works, but it honestly does.
We only have ADD a little bit. Barb's got to go do chores as well. Yeah. My brother told me that. I'm like, oh, you're full of crap. And he's like, no, do it. Like, holy smokes. It works. Because you're isolating.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Isolating information. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yep. Because your brain just taking in so much insulation, you're isolating it.
Insulation? My brain's got plenty of insulation. It's so fat in my head.
But
don't tickle me.
They're fun to tickle.
Oh my goodness.
They can't see it. You guys did not see me tickling him, did you? So it didn't happen.
Okay.
They didn't see it, so it didn't happen.
Okay. Is that the way
I just opened a can of worms. Just opened a can of worms. Oh, goodness. Oh. So how many of y'all are planting your gardens? We're already planting. I've got to get started this week. I have to getting started this week. I mean, I've been planning. We've been thinking things through and talking about.
See you, Barb.
See you later, Barb.
We need to get going too.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get going too. But getting things planned and getting, I need to start my sweet potato slips. I do have a few weeks to start the sweet potato slips, and I need to start peppers and tomatoes and eggplants especially. Got to get your winter sowing going. I understand. Evelyn didn't see a thing. Oh, me.
Well, do this. You can see better. Do that.
Oh my gosh. Have a blessed day. Have a blessed week. Thanks for coming in. Blackberry Rock. Yeah, because Gary is having trouble reading.
Blackberry Rock. Gotcha.
Oh. Well, I guess we're going to get going too. And we will catch y'all tomorrow. We'll be putting up a video, hopefully, if I can get it edited. It's a long one. It may come up in the day. I don't know. We'll see, because it's a really long it's a really long video, and I've got lots of footage that I've got to compact down and cut out stuff. And so we were doing stuff and I just left the camera rolling. So gotta get that edited down and get some footage out of it. Thank you all so much for coming and joining us.
Yeah.
And supporting our channel. We love y'all, and we just can't tell you how much we appreciate you. So thanks for coming in. We pray you have a blessed day.
And remember,
God made you special.
And he loves you very much.
Have a good day, y'all. Love ya.